Hello everyone. This is second lecture of chapter Force and Newton's laws of motion. And the topics I'm going to cover in this session are as follow. First we have momentum. Momentum can be defined as mass in motion. All objects have mass. So if an object is moving, then it must have momentum. Momentum also refers to the quantity of motion that an object has. From the given animation, we can see that an athlete spins many times before throwing the ball. By doing so, athlete increases the momentum of the ball continuously by increasing the velocity of the ball. Thus, we can say momentum depends upon the variable velocity. Also from this given animation, we can see that truck has more momentum as compared to car since truck has more mass. Thus, we can say momentum also depends upon mass of the body. On combining the above two factors, mass and velocity, we can define momentum as the product of mass and velocity of the object. It is denoted by letter P. Momentum is a vector quantity and its SI unit is kilogram meter per second. Newton's second law of motion, which is also called law of momentum. According to Newton's second law of motion, the change in momentum of a body per unit time is directly proportional to the applied force and takes place in the direction in which force acts. For example, from the given animation, we can find that when a person applies force on the pedals of a bicycle, then there is a change in momentum of a bicycle in a given time in the direction of the force applied. Let us derive Newton's second law of motion relation F equals to ma with the help of given animation alongside. Let first penguin is moving with initial velocity u, so its initial momentum be mu. And second penguin applies force F on first penguin, due to which velocity of first penguin changes to v and its final momentum be mv on application of force F. From the given animation, we can say the change in momentum per unit time is directly proportional to the force applied. So we can write change in momentum is equals to final momentum. Let final momentum be represented by Pf minus initial momentum. And initial momentum is represented by Pi. So in place of final momentum, we can write mv, that is final momentum. And in place of Pi, initial momentum, we can write mu. So if I take m common, so it comes out to be v minus u. So in place of change momentum, we can write m v minus u by t, and is proportional to f, or we can write f is proportional to m v minus u by t. We know here v minus u by t represents acceleration. We know the formula of acceleration, v minus u by t. So we can write here f proportional to m a. So here f is proportional to ma, and when we remove this proportionality sign, we have to multiply it with a constant k. Whenever we remove proportionality sign, we have to multiply it with some constant. Here we take this constant as k, and if we assume the value of k be 1, then the formula comes out to be F equals to m. So this is called Newton's second law of motion relation. F equals to ma. From Newton's second law of motion relation, we find that acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of the body for given constant force. As shown in animations, same force can produce more acceleration in lighter bodies as compared to heavy body. Let's try numerical based on Newton's second law of motion relation. Question number 1. Which would require a greater force? Accelerating a 2 kilogram mass at 5 meter per second square or a 4 kilogram mass at 2 meter per second square? So we can apply formula here, F equals to ma. So there are two bodies are given. First body whose mass is 2 kg and acceleration is 5 meter per second square, and second body whose mass is 4 kg and acceleration is 2 meter per second square. So we can calculate force in each case. For first body, F equals to ma. Let it be F1, that is 2 into 5, 10 Newton. Newton is the SI unit of force, and F2 equals to ma, that is 4 into 2, that is 8 Newton. Question number 2. A constant force acts on an object of mass 5 kg for a duration of 2 seconds. It increases the object velocity from 3 meter per second to 5 meter. It increases the object velocity from 3 meter per second to 7 meter per second. Find the magnitude of the force applied. Now, if the force was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, what would be the final velocity of the object? So let's try. Here the mass given is 5 kg and a force acts for a duration of 2 seconds. Due to the application of force, the velocity of object changes from 3 meter per second, that is the initial velocity, this comes out to be 10 Newton. So this is the part first. So let it be F1, 10 Newton. Now it says, if the force was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, now this is case number 2. Instead of time 2 seconds, if force is applied for 5 seconds, what would be the final velocity? So we need to calculate the velocity, final velocity. See, we already calculate force. So we can take the same force, F2 can be taken as same force, that is 10 Newton. The initial velocity is given, initial velocity remains same. There's only change in the duration of the force applied. And the mass is also same, that is 5 kg. So again we can apply formula F equals to m v minus u by t. Let's substitute the values here. F is given 10, mass is 5, v, we need to calculate v, u is given 3, and time is 5. So we can write like, so we can cancel this 5 in numerator and denominator. So it comes out to be 10 equals to v, and the final velocity comes out to be 13 meter per second. Question number 3. A motor car is moving with a velocity of 108 km per hour. Means this is initial velocity, and we need to convert this velocity into meter per second first. So we can convert into meter per second by multiplying it with 5 by 18. On, if we cancel it, 18 1, and this is by 6. So the initial velocity comes out to be 30 meter per second in meter per second, and it takes 4 seconds to stop. Since the since motor car stops after the application of brakes, so final velocity we can take here 0 meter per second because car stops. Calculate the force exerted by the brakes of the motor car. If the mass of the car along with passenger is given 1000 kg. These all are NCERT solved examples. We can use formula F equals to m v minus u by t for calculating force. So mass is given 1000, v is 0, u is 30 and time is 4. So in this case our answer would be in negative. On calculating, the answer would be minus 7500 Newton. So here the force is in negative. The negative means there is retarding force. The force is retarding here. Negative sign means force is retarding. Due to application of brakes, there is decrease in speed. So whenever there is a decrease in speed, it means the retarding force acts on the body. Question number 4. A force of 5 Newton gives a mass m1 an acceleration of 10 meter per second square and a mass m2 an acceleration of 20 meter per second square. What acceleration would it give if both the mass were tied together? So we have been given a force of 5 Newton gives a mass m1 an acceleration of 10 meter per second square. Same force 5 Newton gives mass m2 an acceleration of 20 meter per second square. Force is same in all the three cases. What acceleration would it give if both the mass were tied together? Means if we tied both the masses, the total mass will be m1 and m2. Then what would be the acceleration? So this question has three parts. This is part number 1, part number 2, and part number 3. So first we calculate m1 with the help of formula F equals to ma. So m will be F by A. So m1 can be calculated as 5 by 10, that is 0.5 kg. In part 1, m1 value is 0.5 kg. In similar manner, we can find m2. m2 will be F by A. So m2 will be 5 by 20, that is 0.25 kg. And the next part is given if both the mass are tied together. Means if we add 0.5 and 0.25, that is 0.75 kg, then what would be the acceleration? So again we can use formula F equals to ma in part 3rd. So acceleration can be written as F by m. So F is given 5 and total mass is 0.75. On calculation, the answer would be 6.67 meter per second square. I am assigning you this worksheet which is based on today's lecture. Thank you.